I'd ripped my tyre clean off the wheel while driving this remote 4-wheel drive track, alone at twilight in my Land Cruiser. Listen out for the hiss of air. Ah, that's just ripped right through my tyre. That's just slashed my tyre, you know it has. Yeah, right through. Boom. Oh yeah, sliced the sidewall right through. Look at that. I can't stop here. Right, I'm gonna have to carry on. To compound matters, I'd sliced right through the sidewall, which meant the tyre itself was toast. And since it had happened right in the middle of the trail, I was gonna have to carry on up the mountain until I found a place that I could stop. Like, I literally can't change a tyre on here. With the tyre literally off the wheel, the vehicle was lurching horribly from side to side, and I was about to feel the full consequences of this misadventure. Oh man, I'm smacking my camper up the side because of the tyre being flat. Wheel and tyre disasters have come to define my expeditions in this Land Cruiser for the last few years. It's now happening with such frequency that it's threatening the future of this entire expedition. I knew that if I weren't able to resolve this situation, I would be unable to continue on the trip. From a question of raw economics, I'd be unable to keep on replacing tyres at the rate that I currently was, and I was starting to wonder whether there even existed a tyre that could handle what I put them through. I took the vehicle into the side as best I could and prepared for a long night in a less than ideal spot of trying to figure out how I could salvage this situation. Well, it's late at night in the car. I had some kind of simple dinner. I don't really have much in. All in all, it wasn't the grim evening that I thought it was going to be, and tonight has been an absolute freaking disaster, having ripped the tyre off its rim and slashed the sidewall. I've spoken to a lot of people online, Instagram, friends who, you know, like the North Off-Roaders guys and other people around and stuff, and it's made me feel a bit more supported, I think. Like, I just got the contact of a local 4x4 group guy here from Chus, who I tried to do the passage with, and the guy is like super helpful, just wants to help me out, and he's like, yeah, I'll ask around to see if we can get you some part ones. If we can't get you some part ones, we'll be able to get you like a set of new ones. And so, you know, it just makes me feel nice that people are around and I've spoken to them. And yes, tomorrow's going to be a pain in the ass. Yes, the next few days is probably going to mean I'm going to have to stop again locally. Kind of okay. I'm about to go to bed now. It's really late. It's almost 1 in the morning somehow. Yeah, I got to go to bed on my weird little bunk because I can't sleep upstairs tonight because of the angle of the car. That's the other thing, by the way, the angle of the car is like that. Like, I'm like kind of sitting back here against the thing. But yeah, I'm going to do that now. Catch you in the morning. Alright, good morning from a stricken cruiser on the side of a mountain. I'm trying to galvanise myself to get up. I slept really badly last night, the lean that it's on. Yeah, I'm going to have to get up. I think I'll have to make some coffee and breakfast first, because I honestly just can't face it before I've had those things. I jumped out of the vehicle into a cold, foggy morning in a dramatic, sheer-sided valley. Wow. So you can see how the angle of that was not conducive to a good night's sleep. Oh, God. Well, aside from this being a bit of a nightmare situation, it is absolutely gorgeous terrain. Alright, so, God, this is like proper middle of nowhere. No one's come by here all night. I imagine it's just not very well used at all, which is kind of awesome for our purposes right now. So now I'm down my only spare, well, I'm down one tyre, I'm putting my only spare on, so yeah, I'm gonna have to sort this out like before I do any more off-roading. Obviously I'm gonna have to be so careful today not to rip out any more sidewalls or even get a puncture, because one more problem and I'm actually really stuck, you know what I mean, like without another spare. Oh, this is the perennial problem with this only carrying one spare thing, isn't it? It's like, you really are right on the edge. Like if you have one problem with the tyre and it's knackered, which mine very much is right now, you're stuffed. And so yeah, that's the issue, but the build is just so small. I just don't know how I'd carry two spares. Alright, well, I'm gonna make some food, some coffee. Oh, I'm really not feeling it today. I know this is gonna be such a pain in my ass. I knew I had a massive day ahead of me if I were to get out of this remote river valley and have a chance at figuring out this wheel and tyre situation. But nevertheless, the day's regular tasks had to be performed, and I tried to take in the beauty of this wild remote place, despite my immediate, not so ideal situation. Alright, so this is breakfast today, so I've got my coffee in there. This is nice Lavazza stuff that I managed to pick up, and I've got the classic egg, cheese and bread thing. Also an avocado today. I've been feeling like my diet has not been the best over the last few days, maybe a week or so. I've been eating a lot of like nitrate rich meats and stuff. So yeah, I thought that I would introduce some I had some lettuce last night and some good healthy fats in the form of an avocado, and hopefully it'll stave off the heart disease for a bit anyway. Right, so I've dropped the roof of the car. I'm about to reverse back now and try and reposition this thing kind of in the middle of the track, and that way hopefully I'll have space on both sides. It's the flattest bit, you know, down there or up there for miles, so we're in the best place to do this, even though the inclination is still quite honestly not ideal. But we're going to put those big ass boulders at the back to prevent it from rolling downhill, hopefully. So yeah, let's get to that now. The plan here was to pull the vehicle out onto the trail onto the flattest part that I could find and change the wheel there. But first I wanted to see the damage to the camper. Let's inspect the damage, shall we? Jesus. Firstly, oh my god, look at that. My friggin' sticker as well. Now nobody can. Oh, God. That is unbelievable. Well, I mean, it was always going to happen, wasn't it? Oh, fucking hell here as well. I'm actually more gutted about that because you can't actually repair that, really. I knew I had two smacks. That's on those nasty sharp rocks there, and with this lurching about the way that it is, it, yeah, smacked it right off the rock. So, yeah, dog seeing the rabbit and all that. Oh, this rim is fucked as well. Oh man, I think this is going to be a new set of rims as well. Tell you what, mate, this is about to get very expensive. And very weighty aroundy as well. Because like these aren't the kind of things that you can get next day. These are the kind of things that take 3 to 5 working days to arrive. In the UK, I don't even know what the crack is in Spain. Well, we're strapped in no matter what. And that's just the way that it is. Look at this, mate. That is unbelievable. Like, ripped clean out that sidewall. Just slashed all the way down. Gotta say, that is not good. It's pretty poor performance, not gonna lie. That's one of my BFGoodrichs as well. I think that was the newer one. Like, it's not good when you're spending 250 quid on a tyre and they just rip out freaking as soon as you see a sharp rock. I mean, yes, these rocks are sharp. It's this kind of flint. But it's not flint, is it? It's actually, what it is sedimentary rock. Yes, it's harder than sandstone, but I don't know, man, like, you just don't expect it, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing to happen on a four-wheel drive tyre. Like, they're built, well, they're supposed to be built to withstand stuff like that, and obviously these just aren't withstanding stuff like that. And I tell you what the other thing is, back when I did the Pan American Highway, when I knew way less than I do now, I had a set of really old KO1s, the original BFGoodrich AT. They must have been on the car for like 15 years before I bought it, I would imagine. Like, looking back now, they were like, I wouldn't have gone on that set of tyres. But back then I was like, oh yeah, fuck it, the BFGs, they're fine. They lasted me almost the entire trip. Well, they lasted me until Colombia, all the way through North and Central America, before they got bowled, and that's why I changed them. But like, I did tons of rock crawling. Loads of mad four-wheel drive stuff. Didn't have good technique at all back then. And there was no problem with any of those sidewalls. As soon as I've got a set of KO2s, I'm just ripping sidewalls left, right and centre. I'm not impressed. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like to badmouth firms or products or whatever, but like, I expected more, mate, you know what I mean? Especially like, it's supposed to be an evolution of a product. Like, I bought these because I had such a good experience with the KO1s, and I've been consistently let down. Okay, gonna put the boulders under the wheels now, tools out, get the high lift jack off, and then probably the bottle jack out as well, just for a bit of extra security, if you can call it that. So then we're gonna jack that side up with the boulders underneath the wheel so it doesn't roll, and get to taking that tyre off and putting the new wheel on. This new wheel is the one that dude very kindly gifted me on the day after I lost my original spare in the, wherever the hell I lost it, you know, after the mud pit debacle. And so it's a slightly different offset, and also the tyre's well different, so this thing is just, oh god, every part of this is far from ideal. It's just a disaster at every turn, honestly. I went into the back of the car and got the tools out that I was going to need to do this job. I didn't want to take any chances here. With the vehicle already on an incline, and me about to jack it up precariously on the farm jack, the stakes here were realistically pretty high. I manhandled the big beast of a boulder right across the trail to use as a gigantic chock that would hopefully secure the back wheel while I did this job. I tell you what, this valley must just be perennially wet, like all that stuff up there. It looks like moss, but it's like an algae, like almost like a seaweed. It absolutely reeks. It smells like a sewer. It must just never dry out, this valley, with the river being right there and being two big mountains on both sides. Like, yeah, it's getting a little bit of sun right now, but I imagine it's only for like a couple of hours a day. With the vehicle pretty well secured, it was time to pull the farm jack off the side. Usually I would use my impactor for this to speed things up, but I broke the adapter from 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch the other day, and so I'm using good old hand methodology. Okay, high lift jack. The other good one is, this is a brand new high lift jack. Well, it's not a high lift, it's a knockoff brand, and I've lost all the pins out of the cotter pins out of the securing pivot pins on it. Them all must have rattled out. That was never a problem on my old one, and so I need to buy some new cotter pins and put them on properly, obviously. But in the meantime, this is a whole lot more lethal than even normally, which high lift jacks are pretty freaking lethal, you know. So we're gonna have to be very careful here, basically. Literally just knocking these pivot pins back in with a hammer right now. Oh god. With the jack safely seated on a secure point on the camper, I used the considerable leverage of this contraption to raise the vehicle up off the ground. Okay, so now it's going to be bottle jack time. I threw my bottle jack under the rear leaf spring hanger to hopefully provide a bit of additional security while performing this high risk maneuver. Be under there any longer than I absolutely have to. That is terrifying. Yeah, so because of the different offset on this is way more of a pain in the arse than it used to be for my spare, because with this being further back, the actual faceplate of the wheel, this you can't reach it with a socket piece. It has to be done with a spanner. Whereas previously, because of the way that round that it was, I used to have it flipped. And the nut was around about there on the threaded bar, and you could just whip it off with a gun. But yeah, this has turned it into much more of a pain in the arse. But I think given the problems I've got with that rim continually bending, and just looking at it now, I mean, look at this, like it's absolutely shagged. On here as well, look at this, like this is from last night. It's not horrendous, but it's not good either. I think the universe is telling me that I need a new set of rims, basically. That's the top and bottom of that. You know, that's fine. I can get a new set of rims. I would really like to get a tyre sponsor, and yeah, given that every day I'm using these tyres, like pushing them to the extreme, realistically I will still go through them no matter what tyre I choose. It'd be really nice not to have to bear this cost myself all the time, you know. I'm trying to make this channel work. Currently, you know, the idea of it even being breaking even is distant hope, and never mind in profit. So yeah, it'd be really nice if, just, you know, there was some help there a bit, you know what I mean? Because currently I'm just like throwing money at this. I mean, it's good fun, but like, it's unsustainable. I used my 19 spanner to painstakingly remove the nut from the threaded bar that holds my spare wheel in place. In the past, I used to have a drop down spare wheel carry on the back here to aid in both dropping down the wheel and pushing it back up again. But long story short, I ended up reversing into a tree and didn't have time to rebuild it before I left on this expedition. Woo, baby! I forgot to break the nuts before I lifted the car, didn't I? Let's see if we can do it some way. Oh yeah, that's actually fine. It's gonna break against the weight of the vehicle. That's good. These just broken off one by one. God. I went around and broke all the nuts with the tyre iron, after which I'd be able to use the gun to whip them off quickly. Really wants to go up another notch. At least one, maybe two. Oh God. Right. Okay. Now this is the knackered one. Let's just check that out. Mate, look at that. Look how freaking bad that is, eh? Just like properly slashed down there. BFG, man. Friggin' hell. Sort it out like, lads, you know what I mean? I'm covered in that stinking algae stuff. Absolutely honks, bro. Moment of truth here, because I've never actually had this new wheel on the vehicle. I can't think of any problems that would prevent it from going on, but these things have a habit of having issues that we don't think of. Slip over in the freaking algae as well. Okay, please work. Just go up one more click. God, I hate this with the high lift. Okay, let's try and get this on rapid. Oh, you little beauty. Thank you guys from North Off-Roaders, absolute legends. This is perfect. I'm now a lot more confident that we're going to get out of here. I tell you what, man, 4x4 expeditions on your own. I mean, they're bloody difficult with other people as well, but God, it's just, you have to do everything, man. Like, all this work to the car, the filming, the editing, the cataloguing, the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry, literally everything. It's like friggin' like 3 full-time jobs all at once. These nuts are really not meant for this type of wheel. This was meant for smaller nuts. This is like proper stopgap material. This is like, I can't drive on highways like this. Neither can I drive any distance off-road, because that is one bloody old tyre as well. There's a lot of wear, a lot of perishing on here. I'm just asking for a blowout or a puncture or a sidewall rip out. I rattled up all the wheel nuts with the gun and then used the tyre iron to tighten them all down. This whole endeavour was less than ideal, but I was hoping it was going to be enough to get me out of this area of wilderness. Oof, there you go. There you go. Hard work that is, but pretty pleased with the results, honestly. Tell you what, I low-key like the red. Matches all the other things on my car. Right, so now we'll get this thing lowered down off the jack and we'll get the old knackered tyre onto the back. I just hope that I can get through this without another tyre incident, because like up here is just mountain as well. There's no going back down there. You saw the track last night. So I have to go over this mountain. And it's, yeah, it's a long way around to any kind of civilization from here as well. So yeah, I'm going up and over. At least it's a beautiful day for it. Everything feels a lot more surmountable when the weather's beautiful like this. I dropped the vehicle down off the high lift and onto the spare, being really careful because a high lift like this can take your head off way too easily when you're dropping the vehicle's weight down off of it. It's a funny thing actually, I just replaced this from the one that I carried, well, that I bought in Colombia and carried all around South America with me because it got a little bit bent at the bottom. And I thought, time for a new one that's lasted like 8 years or whatever. And I've got this, like pretty expensive one in the UK. It's a pile of bollocks in comparison. So it goes to show, it's not always the money you spend, it's where you buy it and just the chances really. I need a proper high lift, I think. The final job here was to put the stricken wheel on the spare tyre spot on the back of the vehicle. Without my drop-down spare wheel carrier, that was proving easier said than done. Jesus Christ! Doing this on your own is not fun. Come on. Yeah. I don't think I can do this. After great difficulty and a proper workout, I finally managed to get the wheel up there and support its weight long enough to get the bracket and nut on. Holy shit, I am wasted, bro. So here's a mystery for you. I'm sure many of you know the answer out there, but I went to fill up this tyre, or at least test the pressure inside, and no valve. No valve on this wheel. So I've never seen one like this before, ever. How the hell do you fill that tyre up with air? Like that? That's a real big mystery to me, that one. Shows my inexperience with anything old like this in this space. I have no idea how you do that. Literally, I can't conceive of how you do that. Okay, get the tools packed away. And we'll be on our way. God, I'm covered in this nasty ass slime. God, that's vile. God almighty. Okay, mate, let's get out of here, shall we? Oh, what a mission. Considering how bloody frigid it was this morning, it's gone out really warm. It's one of the most beautiful days that I've seen. Let's go. After a full morning working to get out of this canyon, I was finally back underway, pushing the Land Cruiser uphill, gaining altitude on a tight, long-forgotten trail that was taking me ever deeper into the wild unknown. Tell you what, this is spectacular. Oh mate, I can't get up here. I'd spotted something up ahead that had given me pause for thought. From here, it seemed like the track narrowed into a walking path, and I knew there was no way I was turning around on this trail. Right. I stopped the vehicle and jumped out to check it out on foot. That's taken the wind right out of my sails. This is a bike track. Is it? What can we? Oh, man. Maybe we can. Hell, it's very rarely driven this though. Look at this. We can get up here. This is getting more and more intense by the minute. God, look at this though. See in the background, those mountains over there. Incredible. And down there, just a drop off into the abyss. All right, well, no choice but to continue on. I mean, there's no way that I can back down that, so yeah, we're doing it regardless. There wouldn't even have been a way that I could turn around at that bit that we've just come from, I don't think, either. I was heading uphill into a wild, remote wilderness area, heading up into ever more treacherous trackways, into an area unknown to me and without a spare tyre. Adventure-wise, this felt just about as raw as it gets. But I kept on reminding myself that adventure was the reason why I was here. Drop off down there is actually just dizzying, but my god, this is unbelievably beautiful. As I climbed up the canyon, the track degenerated, and as it did so, the views got better. The skeletal remnants of burned pine trees, reminders of forest fires long past, stood alongside deciduous old-growth oak trees as I approached the altitude barrier for alpine terrain to begin. Oh, okay. That's a big chunk of summer. Yeah, that's okay. I continued pushing ever upwards. Sometimes a rockfall would force me out perilously close to the abyss. Other times, fallen branches and undergrowth would cause me to slow down. But I kept on pushing, the Land Cruiser in low 4 gear. I crawled higher and higher, in the knowledge that there was no going back. Oh my god. The scenery here is... oh my god, look what's behind. That's where we've just come from. See that track network over there? That's what we were on bloody this time yesterday. Oh god. That's the Picos Europa, man. We're almost bloody on par with them. Oh my god, what a rush. We're on top of the world, man. Woo! Look at these chasms, dude. See, the summit is just there. We're almost at the summit of the mountain right now. Oh my god, this is so wild. I might stop here a while, it's just so beautiful. I might make a coffee and maybe even have a shower. It's been a couple of days and I didn't want to have a shower down there because it's freezing cold. It's just like lovely and warm up here. Engine's warm. Oh god. This is unreal, mate. What do you reckon? First prize for the most spectacular shower ever taken anywhere. Just throw my shampoo across the floor, shall we? But look at this, man. This feels like illegal. It probably is. I can't believe this. I got the hot water set up off the car and proceeded to have what surely was the most spectacular shower of my life. Up here, 1,000 meters on the side of a mountain, in the wide open, in broad daylight, confident that there were no human eyes for many, many miles around. Woo! Oh god. I've never had a shower with a better view in my life. Woo! This is, without a doubt, one of the most spectacular places I've ever been. I'm here in my Land Cruiser, on my own, not a soul around, at 1,000 meters above sea level, driving these mountain routes. Like, sometimes this life is just like the best dream you've ever had. Look at this, man. The clouds are cleared up over here. Well, all over, actually. And we're heading towards sundown. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. To be honest, I have just been chilling here. Well, I haven't been chilling. I've been learning how to fly my new drone, which I'm so stoked on. I think we're going to get some really nice footage. Yeah, let's give that a go now. This has been, honestly, such a nice day. After all that bullshit this morning, I took a shower, I've had some lunch, just been looking at these beautiful mountains all day, learned how to use the drone, got that all set up, which is like a brilliant thing that I've been trying to do for ages. Okay, we're back, underway, heading up the mountainside right now. Today had been a prime example of just how extreme the highs and lows are in this lifestyle. A day that had evolved from absolute despair, stuck at the bottom of a valley, questioning the very future of this expedition, to one that had ended in absolute elation, on top of the world, in one of the most spectacular places that I'd passed through on this journey so far. This is the duality of this lifestyle. Living on the road full time, on solo, long distance, multi-month overland expeditions was never going to be easy. But ultimately, I'm reminded every day out here that there's nowhere I'd rather be.